Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Um, I know there's a lot of people out there upset, and it's not what we expected. But I want to tell you a lot was done. But before I even go down that road, I want to tell you that I can't thank all of you enough for your support. The amount of effort, the volunteers, the phone calls. The past few days, I've gotten so many phone calls wishing me well. I really, really appreciate it. It has made this has been actually a wonderful experience. It truly has. The people I've met, it's just been outrageous. It's been fantastic. And I want to tell you, this doesn't mean it's all over. We have a lot of work to do. So I want to start off with what was accomplished. So at the start of the campaign, everybody knows this. It was on my literature, my website, it was on everything. Is that we had the word I used was crumbling infrastructure, and I used that consistently. I used that even at the WPCNA forum. I use that at my other two forums, the League of Women Voters and also Battle Hill Association. I mentioned our problems at, um, I mentioned those problems at various neighborhood associations, at block parties, everything. People can see it, so it was brought up. With that, there was a lot of arguing. People felt certain people, we know we had certain, my opponent was thought I ran a very, very negative campaign. I didn't think so. What, I didn't know how else to show them how severe the infrastructure problem was. It was not being taken seriously. And then it was uncovered that the state comptroller had also cited the city, and still nothing was accomplished. The infrastructure was still falling apart. And we also know that the privately held garages throughout that time that the state comptroller cited us and demanded action, that not only, well, we can't find any action that was taken, but not only that, is that we no longer were inspecting private garages. And it's only through the grace of God that we didn't have people killed at the Hale Avenue floor collapse. If people were in their cars when that came down, it would have been really, really bad. And just because there were no injuries or death doesn't mean it was serious. We were just extremely lucky on that. So we raised awareness to that. And that, I had talked about the crumbling infrastructure long before that happened. It just so happens that we did another video about that 2 days prior to that collapse. And it gained a lot of attention. Then that happened. And then they transferred the nurses over to the Galleria West garage. And when they transferred the nurses over to that garage, that was the other garage that I was extremely concerned about. So we did a video on that. And 4 days later, because we had gotten so much attention, that the city had engineers go out there and they ended up condemning that garage. So this continues. There's more places that are problematic. There's more inspections that may be problematic. We have to get that information. So we know we made a huge impact in White Plains. We raised awareness. So much so that prior to the election, the Rosedale Neighborhood Association put out a letter with demands from the mayor and common council because they have not been doing their job, and that it put residents, visitors, family members at risk. Anybody who parked in any of those garages. They had pursued that prior to the election. The rest of the neighborhood associations would not get involved, obviously, until after the election. and now a complete list of the rest of the neighborhood associations has signed on board, and a letter went to the mayor and council about the entire, on behalf of the residents of White Plains, that we have this major problem throughout the city. Now, of course, would I have liked that to have gone out before the election? Maybe it would have raised even more awareness. Yes, because the people who were involved in this, that knew about it, and I don't see how it can be not denied, because I raised the awareness, but back in 2017, they had a letter from the comptroller raising awareness. Official documents are out there. So they can't deny they didn't know. Right? So now, unfortunately, the electorate has promoted some of those people into higher jobs. And that's the way it is now. But that doesn't mean we can take our foot off the gas. Because I very much fear that exactly what happened under the prior administration will continue if we let our foot off the gas. We have to make sure that our families, our visitors, all our residents remain safe, and that this cannot happen again. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get this letter out there so everybody can read it. That's the start of it. The other thing, as far as continuing this platform, this just started up, this platform, to raise awareness and for the election. But now we see how important it has become. So we'd like to continue this if that's what the people want. If the people want this, I'll continue it. We may do some changes to the entire platform, in that we may have a mailbox set up where you can just start emailing questions all along. Suggestions, questions. Maybe we can do some live interviews. Maybe we can do some audio. This was just done on a shoestring budget, down and dirty, just to get it up and running. That's how we did this. But we could do this regularly and raise awareness to many issues around the city and give a platform. So even though I'm not mayor, you'd still have a platform, because we're getting the word out. And that may be just as effective, if not more. So please, we want to keep everybody in touch. What we're doing is, the website's going to change, obviously. We're going to have a new email address. We'll have a new phone number, or possibly a new phone number associated with it, and a mechanism for everybody to stay in touch. So you can keep sending questions. We can try to investigate them. I also would like many people to join this movement to keep White Plains safe. So you can come and speak to me. I'm happy to speak to anybody. And this is a non-partisan, like anybody who knew me throughout this campaign, it wasn't a partisan campaign. I know that's the way people vote, but it truly wasn't. We had 2 Democrats and an independent on the council slate running with me. This was nonpartisan. This is for the people of White Plains. So anybody wants to volunteer in this effort, please contact me. We'll build a coalition of people together to make sure our government does what it's supposed to. That's what this is about, because we see too much neglect. There's other things that I'm very, very concerned with. I'm not prepared to mention today. I want more evidence of it, but my inclination, there's other things that we have to worry about as well. So please stay in touch. We're going to keep it moving. We'll announce all that on our website of what the new URLs will be, what the new email address is, what the phone number is, how you go to volunteer, and we can even do regularly scheduled meetings. People can come to the sessions where we record. We can do interviews, whatever the suggestions are, we'll review as a team, and we'll see how we keep this going. So I want to thank everybody who helped out. It's just, the outpouring of love was unbelievable. I couldn't imagine it have been bigger, truly. So thank you all so, so much. And now we're going to go to some questions. All right, Larry. Larry said, I wish you would have started campaigning sooner than you did. So, yes, I agree. I mean, we did join the campaign immediately after all the signatures were obtained, but it wasn't something. So, this campaign really started because truly I like to complain about things that are wrong. And I'd see things wrong and I'd complain. And then how do I complain without getting involved? That is not right to do that. So I have no what's the word I'm fishing for? No right to complain unless we do something about it. And I had been asked to run, and it was an easy answer, no, because I could retire in a few years, make a lot more money at my job, very, very easy. And I think I told the story. I woke up in a sweat and said, wow, I'm complaining about my city all the time and I'm not doing anything about it. It felt like someone was tapping me on the shoulder. I better do something about it. So, at great expense to me personally and financially, I joined the campaign. So, I didn't have the same amount of time because it's not something I aspired to and started working in a year in advance. So, as soon as it became available, I jumped in, and that's how the campaign started. So, I do agree with you. So, Larry, we want it or we would never know anything going on in this city. So, exactly. So, just what I was saying, Larry, I'd love to have you involved in keeping this going. So, love to meet. Maybe we can schedule a big meeting. We'll find a big place depending on how many people want to come. We'll do a sign up and then we'll figure out when we could do this and get a real coalition of concerned citizens in White Plains. So, I'd love to have that happen. Thank you. Chris. Hi, Lenny. What do you recommend people do in White Plains in order to hold their city government accountable? Exactly what I'm saying. Excellent question. Leading right into it is that we got to get people to sign up. Anybody who could be affected by this, it could be business owners, you could work here. We got to get people to sign up because so many people's lives are in danger and very possibly still in danger. There's other garages we looked at. I videotaped a library garage. Well, I don't want to recommend people go in there to look at it because I don't recommend anybody go in there right now. But if you go and take a look, it's pretty severe. Or just look at the videos we did. Look at the videos that were on Channel 12 when I pointed it out to them, and you'll see. So we need people to all get involved. Sign up, and let's keep this moving. Tina, yes, yes, yes. We want to know what's really going on in our city. Absolutely, Tina. Um, the issue is going to be is I won't know from within City Hall. And as we know, we don't find out information. It depends on how many executive sessions they have, things like that. Not having one other voice in City Hall, I can tell you right now, nobody on that council is going to challenge executive session, even if they had no right to call it. The only one who can challenge it is going to be a council member, because the council members could say, hey, this shouldn't have been executive session. This particular private meeting had nothing to do with putting the city at risk, and therefore it shouldn't have been an executive session. It didn't disclose personnel information, health information, anything, or there's no active lawsuit surrounding it. Those are the reasons you have executive session. Barring that, everything's supposed to be transparent. So they could do this, and what council member is going to reveal what was said? They're not. They're lockstep. It's been rubber stamped for how many years? And does anybody expect that to change? No. So we're going to have to hold their feet to the fire a lot more, because it's really, if you want to get down to it, it's our fault. The citizens have not held their feet to the fire for how many years? We want to make things, we want to make things happen and change. We have to do it. Again, this isn't a partisan issue. We just know that this is a group of people who they're all the same group of people. So they are not going to fight amongst each other at all. And sometimes in government, actually all the times in government, you need some disagreements to get to the best solution. We have none of that. So that's where we're going to have to be more aggressive and hold their feet to the fire. But thank you so much, Tina. Dominic. Lenny, please, Lenny, moving forward, please continue this discussion and conversation. Dominic, I absolutely will. And again, everybody on here who wants it, please contact us, give us your email, phone number, so we can message you and we can keep this going, but not only going, growing. So if you can contact your friends and family, anybody who's concerned about White Plains, let's make this grow, because what happened in the garages, in my mind, is the tip of the iceberg. For that to happen, for 40 garages, private garages, not to be inspected, for our public garages not to be inspected, and then to be condemned, is serious. But I will point out, we know we had an impact. They now tore up the steps. I almost forgot this. At the city center. Go by there. Everybody should go by there and snap a picture of it and post it on their Facebook page, Instagram. I don't care where. Everybody should do that. That it says garage entrance closed. Because if we did not highlight that, I don't think anything would have happened. So this is all due to all of you supporting me. Got that done. Linda, thank you much, Mr. Lenny. I wish that you would have won. I have never seen any candidate put themselves out there and caring about White Plains and the community. The people definitely got this wrong. The city of White Plains looks like garbage at, but want to appease people from New York City. They don't care about White Plains residents that were born here for decades. What can we do? So, Belinda, thank you very much for that. Same thing as I'm saying. Please sign up. We're going to put this sign-up sheet out there. I'm going to work on it this weekend with my team, and we'll see if we have this going. And we're going to hold them accountable. That I'm committed to. Dominic, I will be honored to assist you any way I can with your new upcoming platform. Thank you, Dominic. It is very important. And I know that this is midday Saturday, so I know this wasn't a convenient time for everybody. So I'm happy that people have jumped into this. Thank you so much. Our focus is on the new platform. This is not something, when I said I was in this to help White Plains, I am, and this is what we all are. So I really want to keep this going big. Let's see. Okay, more questions are coming in. We got just a little delay. Do people need to live or work in White Plains to join your movement? Not at all. I mean, obviously they should have some concern or tied to White Plains. I've had, even when I was walking around and at the train station, other places, people were interested in moving in White Plains, but they didn't like what they saw. So I want information from everybody, because they're looking to do a lot more rental properties in White Plains, a whole lot. And if we do not rent these out, White Plains, it's going to be even worse. It's going to be terrible. So we need White Plains to be successful. You know, if you want to see what White Plains can become extremely quickly, just drive down New Rochelle, drive through the streets of New Rochelle. Tell me what you think. That can happen very, very quickly. Tina, I am honored to assist in any way I can as well. I know my entire family would be delighted to help as well. Fantastic, Tina. So we're going to get this going. I know the team, right? You're excited by it?
Oh yeah, let's get it going.
Okay. So we don't have to keep this session open long today. So I just again want to thank everybody. We're going to shut it down for today so I can get to work on getting the website ready and the email set up and the sign-on sheet. We'll keep it running for a couple of weeks and then we'll schedule a meeting. We can do one of these, or I don't have a problem with doing a big in-person meeting and getting as many people to the meeting as possible. So I think that might be a good way to do this so everybody can meet everybody in person. And if that doesn't work, people can Zoom in as well. We'll set up everything to make this convenient. So again, want to thank everybody and we'll be in touch very soon. God bless you.